Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Path Trading Partners on Bob Iacchino. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a great trading week. By the way, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, ringing the bell, definitely leaving a comment and a thumbs up or thumbs down. Longer term members, thank you for your comments and feedback. I've changed some levels on here. Let me just go to auto and zoom out. We used to have the horizontal channel. This is now turned into a rising wedge pattern that just broke out to the upside, and rising wedges can break out to the upside. It is just not as normal, but this is Tesla. So this is something new that I have not really covered on this channel, I don't think. At least I haven't recovered it recently. So let me change stuff here. Let me change little things here. What was I going to do? Trend line, I want to change my color. I want to change why I want to... There we go. I clicked on the wrong thing because it's a Friday and I'm having a brain fart. So that's one of them. Sorry for the delayed clicking. It's just I was having just one of those moments. So here's the rising wedge pattern. Okay, you can see this black line and this black line. It comes from the bottom, is from the anchor point from the 17th of August. The top is from the anchor point of the 2nd of August, and it narrows out. And there's essentially two things you can do: break out to the upside, break down from the downside, and both for the upside target. Traditionally, people would do, you want to copy this line, so you do a clone or just a clone of this line and drag it up and use that same anchor point. You see, if I do that up here, you see how it matches that purple line. So that is the traditional full target. The full target does not test out well. So the target that does test out well is a 50% level between those two lines. So that's how to do it to the upside. I'll leave it on there, but when it breaks the upside, that's the next target. And again, this upper line can get a redraw. So once we have that, it's essentially like a path trading trend line. This would be the defining point on September 27th. Or was it I don't remember. Yeah, it was the 27th. But we could get a redraw once we get another pausing bar on the daily. But that gives us an updated target to the upside. So a couple things. Let me jump to the weekly. I'll show you also where I got the new black line up here. We went into, as a few weeks ago, we went into what we call a clear path move, and the target is this black line, which comes in at 852 area. So we have that, and we have the purple line, which is the 50% level of the wedge breakout. And so that's right around, 852, could be slightly higher, 855. That gives us another target to the upside to watch for. We had some insane options, weekly options on the expiration day today. 121,000 going off at the 830s, 130,000 going off at the 835s, and 123,000 going off at the 840s, and 50,000 roughly going off at the 850s. I was using the 835 and 840 as targets to the upside. You see here, by the way, we gapped. Essentially, here's the targets we left yesterday with, around 824. We had all these other targets in place already, but you can see with the gap, we came back down, we gapped above the 822.39 target, and then it was the support. So those levels are still valid. That's why I don't take them off the chart right away, because that was the little key support right there. Then, throughout the day, it gave you chances to ratchet it up. So I moved it to right here, which is the pausing bar, and also looking at the 15-minute. Sorry if this is redundant for some of the longer term members, but it's always helpful to go through it. There's a pausing bar also in the 15-minute, which gave me the 831.48 and especially 834.64 area. Coming up here, double topping Now, I've talked about this before. On a strong momentum, strong gamma day, we're not going to use the double top to actually sell anything. I was just watching the levels for potential pullbacks with the 15-minute, especially the 15-minute, since it was a double top on the 5-minute, and we're watching for a breakdown there. And we got the little spike just in front of the double target, drifting sideways, and then we got the breakout at the end of the day. And we had that 839 still on there, and then 843.39. I did one other level. I did the most recent swing off of this. The most recent swing was here from this low right at the end of the day, just to give me tighter targets, and that gave me 840.33. And then, since we went through that, I updated those tighter targets to this pausing bar, which gave me 842.90 to 843.73. So that was the range I was watching at the end of the day. Sorry, 842.91 to 843.73. Those were the targets I was watching the cluster area to the end of the day. And obviously, we just barely entered that cluster area. So where does that leave us? So that's how I did my updates for today. Let's take a look. At this point, these levels, I mean, you can make notes. We're almost at 843, but 845.82 is minor. That's going to be a very minor level. We need to go back and still just use this longer term level. That was just something I used for the end of the day. We can move it up here, but we don't technically have a pausing bar, but it will give us an idea of what to target. So for Monday, on a break above Friday's high, sorry about that, on a break above Friday's high, 848.23, then we have a major cluster of 852 to about 853.25 to the upper wedge line of 8. Can't even see what that is at this point. Hold on. About 855, 56. So those are all the targets I'll be going into Monday with. To the upside, key support is now coming back down to the rising wedge line. You see here, I mean, we just went. It's been an extreme week with this overbought. But again, if you keep doing this kind of option volume, it can keep going into earnings. Earnings again coming out the 20th. So, minor support for me is, I hate when we, is coming in right around 834 to 834.25 right in here. Major support I'll be looking for a pullback to a rising wedge line and then about 823. But keep in mind we have that gap, so we get below there. I'm watching for the gap fill, which would take me back down to about 817.89. So we have a key support, which would be just touching the 4-hour rotation zone. Again, if anything, if we don't keep this ramp up going, it's a drift sideways move. I'm not expecting much of a retracement. So that would be my very key level, would be this rising wedge line for all my support. And even if we do the gap fill, that would just take us back to that 818 level. We don't have much beyond there. Let me drag these up also. Again, we don't have a great pausing bar, so I'm just looking to the upside. So that gives me a major target. If we even break through the 50% wedge line, that gives me 872 to 874 to the upside as an additional target. Again, the major target for this clear path move, this is a weekly, was 852.23, and that's within shouting distance next week. Major support now on the weekly is back at about 773, and then bottom of the weekly rotation zone is about 725 area. So that's the key support levels, especially after earnings, if it does gap back down. But this is getting to this price action recently reminds me of the last little major price action we had in January going into this temporary blow off top, and now we're back up there. Again, let me know your thoughts. Just wanted to go over that rising wedge pattern, and it will reassess it. And if we do break it to the downside, I will show you how to do those targets also. But it all depends on once we have a final draw of the upper line, so I can't put those on yet because it will change today since we did break out to the upside. Everyone have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye for now.